I don't want another baby right now. But I want like 7 kids, but not right now.
What does a billionaire beauty mogul, one of Hollywood's most talked about couples, and a secret family timeline all have in common? Kylie Jenner just told the world exactly when she plans to have more kids, and who she's picturing by her side when it happens. For 3 years, Kylie and Timothée Chalamet kept the world guessing. No red carpet confirmations, no Instagram announcements, just whispers, paparazzi shots, and courtside kisses that broke the internet. But now, the walls are coming down. In a stunning new Vanity Fair interview, Kylie opened up about her future family plans, her relationship with one of cinema's biggest stars, and the version of herself she's building right now, quietly, intentionally, and on her own terms. Stay until the end because the final piece of this story changes how you see everything that's been happening between these two. Most celebrities say vague things about having kids someday, but Kylie Jenner didn't do that. She gave a timeline, a real one, and that detail alone sent the internet into a full spiral. In the Vanity Fair interview published in March 2026, Kylie spoke with a clarity that fans had never really heard from her before. She explained that in the final years of her 20s, she wants to focus entirely on herself, her businesses, her work, traveling with her children, and being fully present with them. And then, after all of that, she made clear that more children are absolutely part of the plan. That "and then" is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Kylie is 28 right now. She turns 30 in August 2027. So the window she's describing isn't some distant dream. It's roughly the next 2 years. 2 years of building herself up, 2 years of being present with Stormi and Aire, and then an expansion of the family she's quietly been designing in her head. This is someone who knows exactly what she wants. She's not guessing, she's not performing uncertainty for the cameras, she's mapping it out. And here's what makes that so striking. This is the same woman who told a publication back in 2023 that she didn't have a plan or a specific number in mind for her future children. She said at the time that whatever happens is simply meant to happen. That was 2 years ago. Now she has a timeline. Something changed. And the question is, what? Here's the part that nobody was talking about when they dissected Kylie's Vanity Fair quotes. The real story isn't just what Kylie said, it's how perfectly it lines up with what Timothée Chalamet has been saying on the other side of this relationship, almost word for word, without the two of them ever being in the same interview. Cast your mind back to November 2025. Chalamet sat down with Vogue for a major cover story, and something unexpected came out of it. He talked about kids. He described watching a video of people celebrating the fact that they didn't have children, framing it as a lifestyle advantage, and he made clear he found that outlook deeply troubling. That one reaction landed differently than anything he could have said in a polished press answer. He wasn't announcing a family plan, he wasn't dropping names, but he was signaling something real. He looked at the idea of a life without children and rejected it, emotionally, publicly, and without hesitation. Then came February 2026. During a promotional event for his film Marty Supreme, someone asked Chalamet flat out whether he ever planned to get married. He didn't deflect. He didn't say no. He confirmed that yes, marriage was something he saw in his future, and then laughed, saying the question was going to get him into trouble. That's not the answer of someone who hasn't thought about this. That's the answer of someone who already knows. So place the two sides of this story next to each other. Kylie focused on herself for now, with more children planned in roughly 2 years, building toward a future on her own timeline. Timothée with marriage on the table, children something he clearly wants, and a visible discomfort with the idea of a life that doesn't include family. These two people have never sat in the same room and answered these questions together, but somehow every answer points in the same direction. That's not a coincidence, that's alignment. Because here's the part of this story that tends to get glossed over. Before anyone can understand where Kylie and Timothée are going, it helps to understand where they came from. And that origin story is more unexpected than most people realize. Kylie Jenner and Travis Scott had been one of pop culture's most watched couples for years. They welcomed Stormi in 2018, split, reunited, welcomed son Aire in 2022, and then by early 2023, it was over for good. By late that same year, Kylie was being photographed with a man who seemed like her complete opposite on paper. Timothée Chalamet, Oscar-nominated actor, critical darling, the kind of artist discussed in the same breath as the great performers of his generation. Someone whose world runs on independent films, award campaigns, and European press tours. On the surface, an unlikely match. But from the very beginning, they handled the relationship in a way that told a different story. They kept it private, guarded, real. They didn't sell it. They didn't build a brand around it. The only glimpses the public got were the ones they couldn't control. A courtside kiss at an NBA playoff game, a joint appearance at the 2026 BAFTAs, and a quiet boat trip through Venice in the summer. For someone like Kylie, who grew up with every relationship moment documented, dissected, and turned into content, choosing privacy is an act of protection. It means something matters. And Kylie confirmed that in the Vanity Fair interview in the most subtle way possible. When the reporter asked whether it had been enjoyable watching Timothée give her romantic acknowledgments during award season, Kylie didn't deliver a rehearsed response or a PR-approved line. She got flustered. She simply said that of course it had been. One word, flustered. It's doing more work than 1,000 Instagram captions ever could. It would be easy to read Kylie's Vanity Fair interview as just another celebrity quote about someday wanting more children. But look closer, because what she's actually describing is a version of herself that she's very deliberately constructing, and it's more grounded than anything she said publicly in years. Kylie Jenner at 28 is not the same person who became a mother at 20. That version of Kylie was a teenager who grew up almost entirely on camera. Every relationship, every milestone, every mistake, all of it watched in real time by tens of millions of people. The Kylie speaking in this interview sounds different. She names her businesses, her work, her children, herself. She's not talking about a relationship or a man or a ring. She's talking about the foundation she's building, and she's putting herself at the center of it. Stormi is 8 years old now. Aire is 4. Both are being co-parented with Travis Scott, and by all public accounts, Kylie has remained focused on keeping that dynamic stable and away from the noise. She's running Kylie Cosmetics, she's filming The Kardashians for Hulu, she's quietly showing up in Timothée's world, award shows, NBA games, international travel, without making any of it louder than it needs to be. That's not the behavior of someone in chaos. That's someone who figured something out. Kylie Jenner's plan for more kids is more calculated than anyone realized. And maybe that's the quiet bombshell buried inside this whole interview. It's not just that Kylie wants more kids, it's that she knows, clearly, calmly, and without drama, exactly what she wants her life to look like. The businesses, the travel, the kids, the relationship kept close and private, the family that comes after she finishes becoming the woman she's actively choosing to be right now. Here's what this whole story actually comes down to. Kylie Jenner spent the first decade of her adult life building an empire while the world watched. Everything was public. Everything was commented on. Every relationship became a headline. And somewhere in the last 3 years, quietly, away from the cameras, in the back of NBA arenas and on boats in Venice, and in rooms the public never gets to enter, she seems to have found something different. A man who calls starting a family something he sees on the horizon, and confirms in a crowded press room that marriage is absolutely part of his future. A woman who gets flustered at the mention of his name and answers with a single word like the answer was always obvious. Two people who have never sat in the same interview and been asked the same questions, but whose answers somehow keep finding each other. The timeline Kylie described in Vanity Fair isn't really about babies or business or even Timothée Chalamet. It's about a woman who decided to stop letting the world write her story. She's writing it herself now, and the most interesting chapter hasn't started yet. If this story had you thinking, drop a comment below. What do you think Kylie's next chapter actually looks like?
there's a lot more to this one than what's making the headlines. Hit subscribe if this kind of deep dive is what you're here for, because new videos drop every week, and the next one is just as layered as this one. Like the video if it was worth your time. It genuinely helps more than most people realize. See you in the next one.